Hello there. Welcome back to Branded. I'm your host, Sarah, and today I want to talk about the real reason that launching can feel so heavy sometimes. So, 3 years ago or so, I launched a coaching program. I no longer have it. I've decided it just doesn't work well with how I like to work. But when I launched this coaching program, I was not prepared, like at all. My business had next to no structure, no CRM, right? That was like, what? What's a CRM? I definitely had no automations of any kind. So while, yes, I was excited to launch, I was also quietly freaking out because everything lived in my head. The call reminders, the follow-ups, the social content I was making, the lead gen, literally everything lived in my head, and I had no systems for anything. So, at your level of business, launching should not feel that heavy. It shouldn't feel like you're bracing for impact. It shouldn't feel like you're holding half of your business in your head while you're also trying to promote the offer. Yet, a lot of established founders feel exactly this same way every time they open cart. There's this quiet pressure sitting underneath the launch, not because the offer isn't good or because the marketing isn't working. It's because you don't fully trust what's happening underneath. You don't fully trust what's happening behind the scenes. So during your launch, you're not just selling, you're also supervising. You're thinking about that sales page that you updated earlier today. You're wondering if that bonus email that you scheduled actually went out. You're checking whether the onboarding process is ready if someone was to buy tonight when you're like asleep. You're asking yourself questions that most people don't really say out loud. It's like this internal conversation we have with ourselves. Like, if someone was to buy tonight, would everything actually run properly, run the way it should? So, yeah, you're visible up front, and part of your attention is also being pulled to the back because you're monitoring, you're checking, you're adjusting, and this split attention that you've got going on, it's what makes launching feel so heavy because you're not just leading the launch, right? You're acting as the safety net for the infrastructure underneath it. And when you become the safety net, every single launch is going to carry extra pressure. But here's a very important distinction. That pressure that you're feeling, it's not from visibility. It's from reliance on you, right? Too much of it. When a launch structure is built really quickly and sort of layered over time, it often depends on you to hold it together. That's just facts. Because mid launch, you'll find yourself checking stuff, making updates, correcting pages, and often these small adjustments, like a confirmation email that maybe needs some rewriting, or a section in your sales page that doesn't really match the current offer, or an automation that you just like don't trust. You're like, that shit's never going to trigger. They require this low level supervision from you. And your nervous system knows this. Your nervous system is bracing for that impact. And this is why some launches feel exhausting, even when the marketing's working. That's what's crazy, right? You're like, everything seems to be working. It's this invisible, fragile infrastructure that isn't working. And sometimes, as the founder, we don't think about these things. And that's why we're having this conversation. So, here's what a clean launch looks like: someone buys, the confirmation email goes out, the onboarding sequence starts exactly when it's supposed to, the CRM gets updated, the access that they need gets granted, you get notified. That's it. That's the process of a launch, right? If the infrastructure is there to support it. So you're not having to like open up all these tabs on your computer to double check all this stuff. You're not wondering if the automation actually fired. You're not mentally reviewing, like, okay, what might I need to fix later tonight that didn't run, right? The launch is just running. And because it's just running like it should, your role in it actually becomes really simple because all you really have to do at that point is show up, talk about the offer, answer questions, and let the infrastructure do its job. This is why properly built back-end systems make launches almost boring. And boring is exactly what you want because boring means predictable. Predictable means stable, and stable means your attention can stay exactly where it matters on the conversation with the buyer. You're not at the stage of business where you need to prove that you can launch anymore. You've done that, right? You've launched offers, you've sold them, you know how to show up and promote your work. Now it's time to raise your standards. The question is no longer whether like you can do this, it's whether the infrastructure around the launch itself has matured with the business. So, if launching still requires you to mentally hold multiple pieces of your business together, it's not a marketing problem, it's a structural problem. It also means that maybe your business grew a little faster than the infrastructure supporting it. And that happens to almost everybody. So you're not alone there. And this happens to successful business owners at this sort of point where you're feeling very established and you also want to attract established buyers. And so this is not like, this is a very common thing at this stage of business. But the solution is not more strategy. It's refinement, refinement in all the right places where your business needs it. It's rebuilding the operational pieces so when you launch, it can run without constant supervision. And when that happens, launching stops feeling like you're inside of a pressure cooker and starts feeling like it's what it's actually supposed to be. A conversation about the offer that's already working. So, if you've been asking yourself kind of quietly this question of like, why does launching feel so hard? Why does it feel so heavy? It's probably not because of any marketing strategy. It's more likely that it's your infrastructure. So have a think about it, right? I know this was a little bit of a confronting kind of episode, but these are the conversations I have with my clients. And honestly, I think it's one of the reasons that they stay with me month after month after month, year after year, and continue to send me referrals because we have these kinds of honest conversations. And when we have these honest conversations, we can then take the action necessary to do maybe what we've been avoiding. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review, share with a friend that maybe is coming up to a launch, or maybe they just had one and this is what they've been saying, right? Maybe I should have posted more. Maybe my marketing strategy wasn't on point. Maybe it was their infrastructure. So, be the friend that shares the information. I'll see you next week for a brand new episode. Bye, you guys.